Hello friend, this is Arash Tebi over at the Beyond Sexy Boudoir course at Omid Academy. I want to get into what is boudoir so you know what you're here for. Boudoir is a type of photography that is usually around lingerie or more sexy type of photos. Sometimes people use them interchangeably with glamour, but boudoir specifically used to be only in a woman's bedroom because that's what it means in the French language. We do use it interchangeably because people just don't know any better, or there's kind of a negative connotation with boudoir. But boudoir is a very lucrative type of photography. Boudoir photography is very lucrative because the women who usually do it are above the age of 35, which means that they have a steady job, higher paycheck, and they can pay more for their photography versus younger women who may not have that same type of bracket for spending money on photography. Boudoir photography is considered a luxury experience. Usually makeup artists, hairstylists, and even the lingerie is provided. So it's the complete package for the woman so that she feels sexy, her photos are sexy, and she comes out of there just a new person, energized and ready for the world. Why do they do it? Why does someone do a boudoir photo shoot? That's a question I hear a lot. So one of the reasons is to feel empowered, because person might look like normal every day, but when they do the shoot, when they get made up, when they wear those sexy clothes, heels, the necklaces, all that stuff, it makes you feel younger. It makes you feel sexier. It makes you feel like a new person, and you want to have that feelings. Similar to, I'd say, when people go get Botox or filler or get their nails done, they're doing it to feel better. And although that might be temporary, that's kind of what a boudoir shoot is as well. I usually recommend women do it after the age of 35 every few years, maybe at milestones like age 40, 45, 50, and then do it for special occasions. Sometimes women do it when they just recently got divorced. Some people do it as a gift for their husbands to show during the wedding day. Today we're going to go over a lady who came in and she did the shoot so she can have an album to give to her husband for Valentine's Day. So there's all sorts of reasons to do it. There's no wrong reason. If you want to do one just because, do it just because. A woman at this moment will be the youngest she's ever going to be. So why not do it right now? Capture her at this moment so that she knows she can look back on this in 5, 10, 20, 30 years and just go, wow, this was me at age 40 or 50 or 60 or whatever. As a photographer, it is your job to prepare the model, the person, the client, whoever's coming in, and it is your job to figure out where their comfort levels are. So in this course, we're going to go in through all that so that you as a photographer know how to approach this, whether you're a male or female, and you know how to take them along the journey so that at the end of it, they're not only happy, but they're recommending you to their friends who are probably also interested in something like this. Many who've already done a shoot, or some who may be dying to do a shoot and just haven't had the guts to pull the trigger. How does one get boudoir clients? Now, this is very difficult because as of recently, when you used to run ads on Facebook, Instagram, wherever, you can run ads for wedding photography or pet photography or product photography and you wouldn't have any issues. But if you try to run ads as a boudoir photographer and put those images on there, even though you're not showing nudity, if you're showing, lingerie or heels or kind of just hinting subtly with that shadow and stuff, Instagram, Facebook wouldn't let you run those ads. So you had a little bit of an uphill struggle with that. And one of the ways to combat that was just to put out enough material so that you can get organic growth. Another way that's pretty successful was writing blogs. And these blogs shouldn't just be like, I shot with Jennifer today. She did an amazing job. She looks sexy, blah, blah, blah. It should be tips about a boudoir photography, tips about props, locations, who does it, along with also your clients who have given you permission to share their photos. I'd say it is the hardest type of photography to market, but that's why you want a strong experience so that they recommend you by word of mouth. Pricing. How do you price boudoir photography? So what I do is I have a standard $500 session fee that includes the hotel room or the studio along with the makeup artist. And this is a non-refundable $500 fee to get the person started, and it doesn't really include any products or things like that. Before they do the shoot, I do tell them that they're not getting the digitals or any kind of prints, and that what the prices are afterwards. So then they have a $750 package, a $1,500 package, and a $3,000 package that includes a 12 by 12 album. Now, this $500 that they're spending can be used for any of those, but it's kind of it is a la carte, and you can choose what you want based on how you see the photos. So sometimes people might come in thinking, hey, I want 10 digital photos afterwards, but they see the photos and they're like, wow, I rather have 60 photos now, or I need all the photos, and then they can kind of upgrade the package. But the bare minimum, I tell them that they're spending $500 on the basic session, and there's a $250 in addition to that for the very basic package, which just includes the 10 digital prints. So I tell them no matter what, they're spending $500 on the session fee and then an additional $250 for that base $750 package that includes the 5 digital photos. The magic of boudoir photography afterwards is the album. So if they come to you asking, hey, we don't want albums, we just want the photos, I say, I'm sorry, it's just included. But if you don't like the album, you're welcome to give it away or throw it away. I know that kind of sounds crazy, but that's how I feel about it. And it's meant for them to have it, because once they see the album, once they have the album, they love it and they cherish it forever. You do, print it in an archival way, which is meant to last forever. And we'll see Mimi's reaction when I present her album as well. How do you prepare for a shoot? So when I meet with someone or talk to them over the phone, I ask them to take their favorite 10 to 50 images they have ever seen or saved and drop them in a gallery that I create for them on my Smug Mug. Now, this allows me to see what kind of photos they love to take and see where they lie on that 1 to 10 scale, of 1 being shooting in a turtleneck, 10 being like full on nude. And usually we can tell, they lie between 7 and 8, 8 to 9. That's their comfort level. That's what they want to do. So that I know we can start off at a 4 or 5, but we're going to end at an 8 or 9. Or if all they send me are just turtleneck pictures, then I can talk to them and say, hey, boudoir shoot might not be the best for you. Maybe you want to do a glamour shoot or just a type of portrait shoot outside or in a studio. You are kind of in the wrong area. Once I do have an inspiration gallery set up, then I do tell them that their photo shoot, they do need to have a makeup artist, a hairstylist there, because I don't want them worrying about that. Again, this is about the experience. So we do want someone to take care of that. And I am happy to bring someone, but if they're very particular about their makeup, meaning they absolutely don't like dark makeup or they don't like a certain type of makeup, they're willing, they can bring their own person, and that's totally fine. But they do need someone to take care of them so that they are pampered. Just like a wedding day, most brides are not doing their own hair and makeup. They have someone coming in doing it, even if it's a friend. That sometimes leads to the next question on, can I bring my husband, boyfriend, friend to the shoot? And I try to discourage that, because when someone is there, you are not fully able to let loose. You are kind of worried about what that person is thinking, what that person is saying. And I think that's one of the reasons some women rather have a male photographer than a female photographer, because some women believe that women are very judgy and they're worried about that judgment coming through based on their tone or words that they're using. So because of that, I rather have no one there. But if you're kind of scared or really hesitant and you have to have someone there, then I say bring your positive friend with you who's only going to give you compliments. Because if they start saying, oh, your nose looks ugly that way, or girl, that's making your butt looking big, if I start hearing things like that, I'm going to ask them to move, and I'll have that in the contract as well. I'll ask them to leave, not move. And I'll have that in the contract as well. Again, because we want this to be a positive experience from the beginning to the end, and the whole experience kind of has to go according to plan. Where are we shooting? Now, you can shoot at any hotel, studio, place like that, but you do want somewhere where you can control the lighting. So I chose to shoot at the Hard Rock Hotel in downtown San Diego because I have shot there before, and I know how the light generally comes in, and I know how it looks inside, meaning it's big enough so that we're not just shooting on a bed. There's enough color on the walls so it's not just a white wall. And they do have this sofa couch that we can also utilize as well, as you'll see. So usually that $500 is used to book that, and I can usually get a deal for under $200. Sometimes if I'm lucky, 140, 130 on booking that hotel room, and then getting a makeup artist for $75 to $150 to take care of that. That's all fine. I'm fine spending the money on that, because that's just going to make sure the shoot comes out absolutely perfect, and they're likely to purchase more than just that basic $750 package. Clothing. You can get really good clothing, lingerie, whatever, from various places. Sometimes people opt for Victoria's Secret and Amazon, which is fine. Those might be a little bit bland, cliched, kind of normal. So I say try to find something that's a little bit more out there. I've worked with stylists before that have some amazing things, although the charge for that might be a little bit more. They might be spending $300-400 on clothes like that. And I obviously tell them up front, see what they're happy with, and then I charge them extra for that based on that, because I can't reuse the clothes. That goes straight to them afterwards. Once we have all that down, we set up a date, and I tell them that, it's non-refundable. That date that they choose, they have to come. Otherwise, I'd have to spend another $500 to book a new spot, new makeup artist, all that stuff. I tell them that up front. Everything's usually cool. We don't really have any cancellations or reschedules. And I prepare on my end by bringing constant lights. And what I bring is an Aperture 300D Mark II and an Aperture, a smaller 60, I think it's a 60 something, smaller one that is bicolor. So we can change it from orange to daylight temperature. And the reason for that is I want to have two lights in case I want to get soft light on the subject, and then if I want to get hair light, that's that golden color, I have that option as well. I also don't shoot natural light because I need to be able to control the light, because what if we shoot at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 6 p.m., or sometimes people shoot very late, like at 8, 9 p.m. at night. And because of that, I want to be able to control the light, because if it's natural light, we're going to be using the hotel lights, which are always very ugly. I have a softbox for the main light, and then the secondary light is just bare, so that golden light comes in on the hair if I need it to, or if I want it to create shadows. So I want to show you one of the behind the scenes shots of when we started with Mimi, and she's just starting off with a sweater here. You can see that I have a light set up to my right, and it has a basic diffuser on it. It's not even, I don't think it's even the softbox, so that it's going through 2 rounds of diffusion, so that's giving her a little very soft light. So I'm just shooting with I believe it's a Canon, either 35 RF to 1.8. I don't think it's the 24. I think it's the 35. And we're just shooting with one light right there. I do eventually move the light just to get different shadows. And I did want her to go in that corner, because the corner is always going to look more 3-dimensional than just shooting with the wall right behind her. So that's why I moved her over. And as you can see, she's giving me poses, and I'm directing her on if something doesn't look right. So with posing, we do want that feminine figure. We do want those feminine curves. So anytime the arm is straight or legs are straight, I do ask her to move that. We do want hands in the shots, so I ask her to touch her hair a lot, touch her lips, bring her hands up here, play with her shirt, because this is all going to have her hands in this frame. If her hands are outside the frame the whole time, it is going to look awkward, and you're going to lose a lot of different types of shots that you can get. So with this first outfit, I have her just moving around on the couch, and I show her a few of the photos so she sees how she looks. That also boosts confidence when they can see themselves. And we just go through it, getting different shots. And I do switch cameras. I have 2 cameras actually. I'm sorry, I don't switch cameras. I switch my lenses. So I think I go to the 50 millimeter after that. And I also have an 85 set up, but the 85 is too zoomed in for a hotel room usually. So I believe we just shot with the 50 and 35. And that was that first look that we did with the sweater. For the second look, I did have her go to the mirror. I did want to get mirror shots as if she's getting ready. This looks more natural and authentic, and I thought it would kill with that outfit she had on with her red and with the coat. So once we get a few shots like that, I have her go to the mirror, and I want her basically just interacting with herself in the mirror and with the camera. Because again, these are the best shots when it's as if she's putting on lipstick, she's checking herself out. These look natural, these look great, these look authentic, and it just looks hot as well. So instead of just looking at the camera the whole time, I want her looking off the camera and also at herself in that mirror. We end up at the bed, and she has a balcony there as well that we use for the hotel. So I have her go to there using the coat, and we finish up with that look. The third look was with a wig, which is an absolute great prop, and I recommend bringing props as well. So we had a beer in the fridge I took out. She put on her prop, and she has that little jacket that's opened up. So she's drinking her beer, she's playing with her wig, she's on the couch, and I have her start there, then lose the drink, and then kind of give me different poses there. So I sometimes get on there to show someone what it looks like, and then as you can see, I bumped my head, so I'm kind of clumsy sometimes myself. So we have her on there, have her stand up, get down, tease a little bit. Again, it's the tease, it's the seduction of that kind of makes the shots. It's not just looking away, looking at the camera. And I'm still shooting with the 35 and 50 predominantly. We take the same look, we go to the bed. She has a little whip she wants to use. We try to get some creative shots like that while she's, moving the whip around. Get her from above, get her playing with the whip again, show her the photos, take her to the corner, and I try to go up and get kind of a up-down shot. So I'm standing on the dresser to get that. Bless that dresser for holding my weight, and get some epic shots like that from the dresser. Next outfit. So this was basic lingerie with pantyhose. I did bring that phone, that kind of vintage phone, so that she's talking on the phone, and it just adds to it versus just being on the bed. It's kind of one-dimensional to just be on the bed. You do ideally want props. Props are, I'm a broken record, but props are great. If you can use props, absolutely use props, and that's what we're trying to do with Mimi here. She has this necklace that she uses. She used the whip, the phone, and I think that was it for that outfit. Next outfit was similar, but it's just black. So I take her back to the front, and this is where I try to change things up with lighting. So instead of going soft, I bounce the light into the mirror to create kind of a more hard light on her. And this hard light is pretty good for the type of shot that we're getting. It's really kind of old school vintage feel. And with the pearl necklace, with the book, with the black, with her boots, it just killed. This was one of my favorites. And then I also use haze to create a little bit of moodiness into the room as well. This just came together really well. This was one of my favorite type of looks right here. And I think we took that to the bedroom again to get some shots, similar type of lighting. I wasn't super happy with the lighting, but it worked when we got her to the balcony. Again, using some haze, using props. And then I turned the light completely off, and I think I went ISO like 8,000, 10,000 to try to get some shots like that with the city lights in the background. So I wasn't getting the type of lights I wanted with the light was on, so that's why I turned that off. I bring her back to the mirror to get some more mirror shots, and I actually go into the bathroom eventually so that I can get different angles, and I shoot from the bathroom, get a little voyeuristic type of shot with her. Again, I tell her to bend her legs, cross them, give me different types of shots basically. The last one we did was an implied nudity type of shot, and the reason for this was I just wanted to kind of go out with a bang, and I thought this would absolutely kill with the towel above her head as if she just came out of the shower or something. And I had seen some inspiration before that we had discussed, so this wasn't out of the blue. She was prepared for this. I didn't just pull it out, be like, hey, we want to do a topless type of shot. No, she was aware of it. And then I'm shooting into the mirror to get her shadows in the bathroom. So it's definition of implied nudity by getting that silhouette shot right there. And that was it. That was shooting at the Hard Rock with Mimi. You saw the different looks we did. This took about 3 hours. I try to go pretty quickly so she's not getting bored with me trying to change the lighting, position my cameras, all that stuff. I like to go quick. I like to get as many looks as we can because she's going to be happy with the variety, and she's more likely to purchase a higher package because there's going to be more photos that she loved. All right, welcome back to the editing section. And as always, I do edit in Adobe Lightroom. So as you can see, we're going to bring in some of the photos so you can see what I'm doing with it. I'm going to use my own Lightroom presets that I've created, but you absolutely don't have to. So I'll show you both of them. I'm going to take a few from each of the different types of shots just to show you how I would edit them. So again, I'm going to go through all of these, and there's 2,155 photos. So we're going to narrow these down by deleting the ones that aren't flattering and deleting the duplicates. So if these two look too similar, I would delete this one and keep the other one. And that's ideally what I'm doing. So let's pick one of them. Let's pick this one, for example. So if I go, I would check to see which one of my presets, first of all, looks good. So some of them will be in black and white, but those will be the duplicate shots. I just want to get kind of a baseline. So I'm going to go to my cool and spicy one, which if you scroll down, we're going to adjust it anyway. So we're going to do some noise reduction, increase the sharpness, increase the blue primary saturation, decrease the saturation a little bit up on here. Add a little contrast, open up the shadows a little bit. This is what my preset basically does. It's in here. I'm going to increase texture a little bit, decrease blacks. It's a little bit too magenta in there. And I'm going to Command A. I'm going to sync them all so that all of them have this kind of preset set to them. I can always delete the preset and kind of start over, but I do want kind of a consistency amongst my photos. So that's why I'm adding them to all of them so that we can kind of get that consistent look. So if I have this done like that, I'm going to send her these photos so that she can see how many that she loves, because this way she'll be able to tell me, hey, there's 5, 10, 50, 100. And those are the ones that I'm going to go retouch for her digitals and for the album. So once I have, I'm going to go through all of these. You can see how my preset was applied to all of them. And you can see for this one, for example, it is, I don't like this photo because I'm seeing too much of her whites in her eyes. But if we find one that is okay, we're going to adjust this because first of all, the exposure is too high. Second of all, I'm not a fan of all these colors in there. So this one, or this series right here, I'd either remove the greens, the blues, or this one might be one that I actually make black and white, because I don't want all these different colors, because this was probably when we left the light on before I turned it off. So this might be one where I'll go find my black and white preset. And when I'm exporting for her to view, these are going to be lower res ones, just so you can see. Export. And we'll take this all the way down. Check this 2000. And we can watermark it. So again, this looks like the lights were left on. So I would cool this off so that I don't get any more of that yellow. See, these were the ones actually shot with 85. So I guess we did shoot some with 85. These were with the 50 at 2.2. See, this one was out of focus, so we'll delete that one. Feeling this one, so we'll render this one out. Again, the 2100 photos or something will probably be reduced to 600, 700 good ones that she will get to see. She won't get to see all of these. See, some of these look pretty good with my preset, but they do need to adjust the exposure. And again, I send these all to her. She sends me which package she wants to go with, and then she picks the ones she wants, because there's going to be numbers on these for her to choose from my smug mug on which ones are her favorites. So I'm going to close this up, and we're going to go into her album that I designed after I had the pictures she loved. So we're going to go into her album, and I'm going to show you the album I designed for her with the pictures that she loved. So when we retouch photos in Photoshop, I ask them first if there's anything particular they want me to remove or not remove, because I don't want to remove a scar or birthmark that they it's part of them, they don't want touched. So for example, with this one that we went through, I'm just going to use the clone brush, and I'm just going to do a little bit of removing her butt right there, just smoothing it out a little bit. Again, we don't want to go overboard. We just want to do a little bit of removing things that might not need to be there, where the eyes might go. Because if it's not a permanent thing, if it's not going to be here in 2 weeks, we can get rid of it. Now with this one, this was bothering me, the air conditioning unit. So what I would do is, first of all, I would try to circle this, see if we can remove it with the content aware. So if I go to, let me duplicate this, if I go to right click, go to fill, go to content aware, click it, we'll see what comes up. So it didn't really do a good job. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to clone that part out. So now that I have it filled, I can, go through it without messing with the areas around it. So let's try content aware to get rid of this first. Let's feather, let's do 8 pixels. Let's go to does a good job. Now we can go kind of fine tune it. Still using the clone brush. Basically, I want to see, is it noticeable? So it's better obviously with this out. There's the butt ones. And then I always zoom out, see what's noticeable to my eyes, zoom in. And I just want to see, will the client or someone else notice something? Is it obtrusive to my eye? That looks good. If I wanted to, if she had requested, which she didn't, I would make a layer out of these guys, go to filter, go to liquefy, because this is a common thing I get, not from Mimi, because Mimi looks beautiful, but sometimes people want to slim down just a tad, and this is where that happens. Or they want to increase the bust a little bit. This is where we would do that. Again, just a tad. We're not going to make someone look fake or like a illusion or something. We want this to be a real person. All right. So after, before, after, and we can save it from there. So this was a basic retouching in Photoshop, and nothing crazy. Just want to improve the photo a little bit so that when it's printed in an album, it looks better. Your eyes are not going towards one thing sticking out at you. So these are the ones she sent to me for retouching. So she picked 71 photos for me to retouch. As you can see, I went in, I did some smoothing, I fixed the lighting. Some of them were black and white. See, she loved these ones in front of the mirror as well. Remember I told you they're very natural and authentic. I didn't tell her that, but obviously she agreed because these are a lot from that area. You can kind of get an idea on how many she liked from each set. The telephone worked. The pearls, these were the shots with the light going into the mirror. It's harsh lighting, but it worked. These were the skyline pictures I told you about when we were shooting at really high ISOs. Some of these that the client picks, like Mimi picked, I am not a fan of. Like, for example, these this one. This was one of the first pictures we took before we removed this trash can. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to remove that very well. So I left that in there. But she loved the photo. She didn't care about that. I told her about that. I was like, are you sure you want to pick something with a trash can? She's like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. Those were the ones. Now I'm going to show you the album. So it's a 30-page album or 15 spreads. So this would be page 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So 15 spreads, 30 pages, and you can see which ones she chose and how I designed it. And then she told me like, hey, I really love this one, but maybe move this a little bit to that way, or I don't like this positioning and I moved it around. But this was how the album was that I designed. And I actually do have an album right here. So the album is a leather album. You can see it's kind of thick. Feel it? You hear that? See that? It's a big album. This was Arash over at Omid Academy. Thanks for watching the Beyond Sexy Boudoir course. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. That's what I'm here for. Answer any questions, help, advice, things like that. Good luck. Do your best. Be professional and kill it at your next boudoir shoot. Bye. All right, so we're here with Mimi right now, showing her boudoir album for the first time. She hasn't seen it yet since it was designed and all that good stuff. So please, Mimi, go ahead.
I'm scared.
Are you scared of your pictures?
Well, I'm scared and excited at the same time.
Just excited. If it's heavy,
goodness.
I can help you take some of the stuff.
Let's see here. Oh, it looks nice hardcover. It's nice leather. Wow. Let's see what the first page looks like. Oh, it's amazing. Wow. Wow. It came so great. Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
When are you gonna give it to your hubby? Valentine's Day
For
or before?
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
And
Awesome.
then look at this. This is gonna be a great Valentine's gift, and I'm so glad I was able to do this with you because, like I said in my previous video, I mean, you are very comfortable to work with and you're incredible. You listen to my opinions and my ideas, and you have your own suggestions as well. And I'm so happy I was able to do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for trusting me, Mimi. Good luck. Please film your husband.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.